Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast. What the hell is going out there? Packer Universe podcast. We are a Green Bay Packers fan podcast, bringing you topical and relevant Packers news along with our most humble, subjective opinions. This is episode 326. We're recording this live on a Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Man, the Packers are red hot right now going into week 3. How about them Packers?
Like Jair used to say, Tay, the pack is back.
The pack is back.
But he's not here to enjoy it, man. He's still getting cooked out in Baltimore, Tay. So it's been a minute, Tay.
That's Ren right there.
This is Ren, and we're all over the place live here tonight, Tay. There's not a lot of smoothness happening up front, but we forgot we had a podcast because you've been gone for, 10 days? So
yeah,
you might have to leave for the whole season, Tay. I'm not sure because it's been working out pretty well while you're MIA.
I know. That's what everyone was telling me. My family was like, hey, you just stay away. Just stay away. You know, maybe the Packers will continue on this hot streak. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but that's how long we've kind of been away a little bit, a week and a half or so. So I apologize to all our diehard Packer Universe fans out there. I apologize to you, Ren, that we couldn't get stuff done.
My issues with some technical difficulties on the StreamYard app that doesn't want to let my mic and my camera work for some reason. I don't know if my iOS operating system just doesn't like it, or we maybe troubleshot off the air that maybe I got to access via Chrome. We'll find out. It's an experiment to happen in the future. So you don't leave us, and we're not with any content out there. I know it's sorely missed by the throngs of fans we have out there today.
I got to watch the most of the second half for the Lions, and then I got to watch most of the second half of the Commanders game. But Ren, I mean,
don't like it, Tay.
What? You don't like that I missed it?
You just, hey, I don't care where you are in the world. That 3 hours, that is your dedication. You know, plant that ass on a seat and watch some Green Bay Packer football because you missed a lot of good stuff.
I did, and the Packers. Oh my God! Like, hello. We've got a team. I mean, these Packers are hot, and I can't believe how well they've started this season. We never start seasons like this. We never get this from the Packers. We always get this ho-hum, like we're trying to figure ourselves out sort of thing. In the first 2-3 weeks, we don't know. There's some injuries lingering, but no, Ren, we're firing on all cylinders. This is awesome. This is fun. We're jacked up. I mean, Packer Universe is stoked. I mean, how long can this last? Nobody knows, but we're in top 3, top 5 of all power rankings, even if you even believe in that sort of thing. It doesn't matter, but what that means is you're on the radar. People are paying attention, and they think you are awesome. They think you're hot, and
that can
it's true.
Be to your detriment, Tay, because this week, and we'll get to it in a while, but it's a trap. You know, that stuff starts coming up. This team's going to give you their best swing. And, you know, like Xavier McKinney said in the locker room this week, Tay, lots of MFers, Tay, start 2-0. And basically saying don't get complacent because that 2-0 be worth shit, Tay, as Xavier goes on to say, at the end of the season. Remember the Saints last year, where they start 3-0, 4-0, and they turned into a massive dumpster fire? I'm not saying that's going to happen to the Packers, but it's a week-to-week thing, and they're playing great football. And the big thing, you said, all cylinders, 2 or 3 cylinders maybe. The special team still leaves a little bit to be desired on some of the
a doink is in. Come on, who cares?
Kick return stuff, and even the coverage teams have been a little. I tweeted at one point, it's just like, when are we going to have great special teams? Because I don't know, Tay. I'm still waiting for that day. But no, the reason, remember, I think it was 2018 or something, Aaron Rodgers said, we got a defense. Now they actually really do, Tay. Yeah. That's a big reason for the part of the start. Zach Cruz pointing out that Parsons 4th in pressures with 11 in the NFL already, Tay, despite just about 50% of the snaps. That's it. Edgerrin Cooper leads the NFL in what Zach goes on to describe stop, tackle, creative, negative EPA plays, and has 15 in 2 games, Tay. So the breakout that we were expecting, the ascending superstar of Edgerrin Cooper, is literally happening before our eyes. And certainly, with Micah there, the 2 weeks you've been gone, I mean, everybody's flying around. I mean, you look at guys even like Carl Brooks. Sometimes maybe it takes Goody moving that old vet out, and these guys just you got to play. And Brooks, man, third highest per Felipe Bassetti, a friend of ours. He third highest pass rush win rate among interior D line week 1. That's great. That's incredible stuff. D Wyatt leads all D interior linemen with 11 pressures. I mean, this thing is spreading out everywhere. We've seen great play from Javon Bullard, Quay Walker. I mean, typically,
Keyshawn,
Keyshawn, five PBUs. I mean, it's incredible stuff, Tay. It's everywhere. And Xavier McKinney is just bored back there. He's like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. Nobody's throwing on me. And these guys, there's like 7 every time somebody's got the ball, like a running back or, that check down stuff. There's 7 white jerseys a la last Thursday around the ball carriers. And crazy, Tay. Like, their flow to the ball is just something you and I and Packer Universe hasn't seen in a long time. Just ferocious, on time. Obviously, building that second year, the Hafley defense, Tay, it's fun to watch. And listen, even in the offense, we'll talk about them in a minute. They've put up 27 points in 2 games against 2 playoff contenders that likely will be playoff teams. Obviously the Lions took their frustrations out on the Bears last week after getting beat by Green Bay. Yeah. They're going to be there at the end in the mix. And it's just they made those teams work for every yard they got. And the Packer offense could have maybe put them away, but they put up 27 against those teams, and they're not even hitting their stride yet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The golden breakout's coming. We know it is. And now, unfortunately, with Jaden Reed down, maybe that makes it happen faster. But, many people have pointed out he's been wide open on a number of plays already. And unfortunately, Jordan hasn't got him the ball yet in those situations. Sometimes it went to somebody else, or sometimes it just didn't get there. But this thing is untapped. Josh Jacobs, he's rushing for like 62 yards a game. The run game's okay, but it's not broken out yet. They're not playing with all their starting 5 essentially for 2 games already this year. That's why they went and got Kennard, Tay. That's why they drafted Anthony Belton. You got to have the depth, and it's already proving to be a need, and thank God. But man, sorry, another Ren's rant, but just all these things. You've been gone. I want to talk about it. There's so much to be thankful for, and we'll talk about what else blows in the north because the Bears still suck, Tay. But it's been fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, this team is having the Micah effect. I mean, it's real, right? Like, bringing him in was probably one of the best decisions they've made in a long time. I mean, this trickle-down effect is just adding fuel to what their potential was. I mean, these are all the same guys from last year that are on this team besides, Micah, basically, right? So this is what they needed. This is what, they look at him and say, this guy's great. I can be great, and it just makes everybody better. I mean, you're talking about Bullard, Williams, Cooper, Nixon. They're all stepping up. I mean, Nixon kind of, to me, he kind of ran his mouth a little bit, touting himself, but he's proving it. So, heck yeah, dude. Like, that's great, and that's what needs to happen. Rashawn Gary finally getting there.
The Lucas, obviously, it has improved the Lucas Van Ness play. I mean, it's everywhere, man. It's fantastic.
It's so awesome. So the Micah Parsons effect is real, and I don't think there's a limit to it. Honestly, I think this can ride as long as they're feeling confident and they are winning games. But they've showed up against 2 playoff contender teams, like you said, and that. There's nothing that says the Packers can't do this all season. Obviously, it's an early pick, to the Super Bowl. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to go there and they're going to win. I love watching like the Skip Baylesses of the world, like totally melt down over their Cowboys and just put the crown on the Packers, which is fine. But I know you kind of like were like, I don't like that. That's a trap thing. But I was going to say this later about the Packers going into Cleveland, but this team looks confident. They look like they aren't in their head, and any noise building up on the outside, I just don't it doesn't feel like it's going to affect them. I think they're going to stay in the course. They seem disciplined within their head and in their own minds. So right now, I'm not worried about that, Ryan. I'm not worried about a trap performance. These guys, are still young enough to not know that. Maybe there's some older vets that, I've seen this before, that's kind of thing. But most of these kids are young still. They're going to ride high. They're believing in their coaches. The Matt LaFleur coaching staff is on fire. This Halfley defense is almost a holy defense now. WHO. So I feel like this team is poised to make a great run. And I think a lot of that mental stuff isn't there right now. And I love that for this team. I love it for them. I think they're going to enjoy this. They may come up against adversity, and we'll see how they handle that. But right now, they're playing, their own game. And Matt LaFleur's got those guys lined up to play some great football. He's calling some good plays right now, dialing up some good motion plays, setting the defense off. I love that. And this just sets up for more. I think, was it last year where you did see Matt LaFleur kind of calling some really good games, and then that kind of went flat for some reason towards the end of the season? So I'm a little worried about that maybe. But we'll see about Matt LaFleur and getting these guys to continue this. I mean, you got Savion, you got Matthew Golden, Wicks is finally showing up.
Wicks has been great through 2 weeks today. He's been clutch when needed. He's not dropped the ball, obviously. And we all know the route running talent that Dontavian Wicks has. So, yeah, just another one to add to the list who's playing so darn well. Mm-hmm. And, kind of a couple anecdotes off that receiving core. Obviously, two pretty big ones over the last week when you're gone and getting back. I mean, obviously, Christian Watson gets that 1-year deal, Tay. Kind of just let him breathe. Essentially like a 5th-year option, but he was taken right at the beginning of the second round. And really, I think it's a win-win for both. It allows him to say, hey, I'm getting $13.25 million. That's great. And I can still go out and prove something and obviously get a bigger contract afterwards. So he's betting on himself and they're betting on him. Our friend Wendell Ferreira, he put out, through 38 games, 98 receptions, 1,653 yards and 17 touchdowns versus 33 games, 83 receptions, 1,396 yards and 12 touchdowns. Do you know who the other one is, Tay? One is Christian Watson. The other is Jameson Williams, who just got that, 3-year, $80-some million deal from the Lions, and he's put up less numbers than Christian Watson through this time. Obviously, he missed some time with injury as well, but, I like where the Packers are giving Watson 13.25 to go prove it rather than a guy out in Detroit. They just, gave him 3 more years and it is what it is. So that was a good point by Wendell, making that. And then obviously Jay Reed, man, I mean, unfortunately breaks the clavicle. Yeah. And we already knew he had the Jones fracture and he got them both done, which is awesome that he got them both done because he's injured. It's not awesome that he's injured, but the clavicle would take like 8 weeks, but with the foot, probably 10 weeks. So, maybe a December return. But in the meantime, that's going to, allow those rooks, Williams, Savion Williams and Golden to, maybe get their feet under them and get going. And then you're going to have hopefully a full complement come December of all these guys. I think it's going to, although it stinks because Reed's a great player and he's been great for him last year and obviously through the first 2 games, but it could really help propel those young guys to be ready for a stretch run if they do indeed get that opportunity.
I think we do have some guys that have the same type of skill set that Reed had. Matthew Golden, I mean, he's maybe a little shorter, but the dude can do end arounds. I think he did one on Thursday night. So that's still there for them. That's in their playbook. And then they add Savion Williams with whatever he can do.
The Wildcat.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Nice,
so they've got these weapons.
Yeah, he's a chess piece too. So
yeah, so they have these wide receivers that their core is fine. Like without Reed, they're still okay. Wicks is showing up. He's showing that he can catch the ball this year and make some plays, be there, be relied upon. Dobbs, I've never had a problem with Dobbs. He's there.
Solid as always, man. But he's showing a little more emotion through 2 games. Like he's fired up a lot. You're like, who's that guy? I don't know.
You're going to get Watson back. I mean, dang, this is looking poised. And you got the 2 tight ends. Kraft's a monster. I love seeing Musgrave show up now and be a part of that passing game. I can't wait till he's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, he had one or two on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Obviously tough, man. I mean, 6 for 124, a TD at 12 yards per reception. I mean, that's incredible, man. Tough breakout game, but another guy like Cooper on the other side on defense, and then you got Tuck on offense. We're kind of both expecting these guys, this jump this year for them. They're ready to be stars, both of them, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, this team is doing really well. And I guess like one of my criticisms will be the third down. They're only completing like 40% of their third downs, which I guess is all right. But
it's probably, if we looked back at last year, man, it's probably way better because it was a struggle bus, as the kids say, last year on third down conversions day. It was not so great. And that's when, especially later in the season, the play calling was really blasé. We didn't feel Matt, was maybe as aggressive as he needed to be at times in the play calling in general. So, it's been, and he's still got so much more in the bag yet. We have kind of yet to scratch the surface. The offense is just kind of chugging along, playing well, but I think Jordan's averaging, 113.4 quarterback rating through 2. And I mean, it's been great. I know you're still not, you don't know if he's the next Packer superstar quarterback today, but again, I think Jordan Love is underrated. And if you look back at, I think like the last 7 games of last year, and then you add these 2 through the last 9, his quarterback rating is over 100, and his interceptions are way down over that time. The touchdowns are up, and it's been a pretty good run. And if he continues that through the whole season, I think you're going to say, he's it, man. He's never going to be. None of us are ever going to see Aaron Rodgers with the deep ball accuracy or some of the
no interceptions,
crazy, low interception stuff like Aaron did, because Aaron was 1-on-1, when it came to protecting the football. And man, the guy could, hit a quarter 40 yards downfield pretty much on every throw. You expect it. It's not going to be that same way with Jordan, but he still will make highlight plays all the time, hitting Tucker on some, that one kind of double coverage one. I think it was that week 1 against the Lions. This beautiful ball kind of reminded me of the one he zipped in there last year to Tuck in one of the games at home. And that one to Malik Heath, man, on the sideline, first called a incomplete pass, and then they, review it, and Malik gets those 2 toes in. If you didn't see that, I think it was in the first half, and just an incredible only place Malik could get it. Great throw, great catch, obviously, with Malik. And Jordan's got arm talent, man. He can do it. He's just maybe gotta, sometimes the deep ball it's not like he can't do it. It's like sometimes he's got too much on it, or sometimes not enough. And when that gets fully figured out, man, look out, because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I remember watching film from last year during the season, for each game when I can, and then this year I watched a little bit of the Commanders game. And I see a difference. I really do, with him and his decision making. Obviously, he's got good time, right? Like the offensive line's, doing him right now. He's got time to throw, but like last year, I would see like, oh, why didn't you throw it to that guy? He was open. Like, I know, I'm armchair quarterbacking it, but when you start seeing a lot of that, I kind of second guessed him. But now this year, I think he's making more of those correct decisions, making the 1-2 read, and then making it happen. And he's got good arm strength. When he really plants it, he can really launch it. I think I can't wait for those plays to happen. But he's putting the ball right where it should be. The receivers are catching it, and it's looking like everyone's on the same page. And that's what I like to see. I'm not underrating him, not overrating him. Can I just rate him? He's just right there. I mean, he's on his way up for sure. The jury was out for me. This year I'm starting to come around already in week 2, going into week 3. He's doing very well. And he's not injured. That could be what it was for a little while last year. So, yeah.
I kind of akin it to, obviously, Jalen Hurts out in Philly. Like, Jalen has not gotten a lot of love from the national media, and even guys like you and me, a lot of people everywhere, until probably last year when he obviously manage that football team so well. I don't know if he's got even a touchdown pass in the first 2 weeks, but he wins.
Yeah.
And I think arm talent wise, Jordan is better than him, and he gets his team to win. I mean, hey, look what Hurts was able to do: win a Super Bowl, win it going away against multiple Super Bowl champ Chiefs the last number of years. So
yeah, you don't need a rocket arm or a huge arm to win football games. You don't need to be super accurate and all the time to win games and go to the Super Bowl. Like you said, I think Jalen's a good example of just being a good all around quarterback. And Love can be that for us, and I think he is right now that guy. So I love it, pun intended. But I just hope that their third down conversion rate goes a little higher. They've been in the red zone 9 times. They've scored 6 times. That can carry you pretty far, 66%. But you just hope for less doinks or less fourth down misses.
There's only one doink.
Only
we were all surprised to see McManus miss one after we just expect him to be automatic. But I'll give him one this year. I'll give him one this year, Tay. He's got his one mulligan. That's it.
And he took it early.
Up already. Make those field goals.
Brutal. We kind of already alluded to a little bit, but the injury report for the Pack going into week 3 against the Browns, they list Jordan Love on there. They listed Zane Anderson today, both full participation. And then you have a few guys limited participation: Aaron Banks, Nate Hobbs, Josh Jacobs, Bo Melton, and Zach Tom, all limited participation. All those guys are going to be good to go. I don't see them being a problem.
I think Tom's the one that's not going to play, Tay.
You don't think he is?
No, I mean, Aaron Banks went as far to tell the media that he is going to play on Sunday. So, okay, we'll see. But Zach, he was interviewed with media today, and our friend Rob Domowski was asking questions, and other folks there in the scrum, and describing what that's like, and that oblique tear. And he said it's not a full tear, but it's not real comfortable. Basically paraphrasing, but it's not the most comfortable. And they asked him at the end, do you think Sunday's a good possibility? He's like, well, maybe ask me tomorrow. So that was how he.
So, the way the Flu was talking, it seemed like he was going to be on.
So I'm going to say right now, I don't think Zach Tom plays on Sunday.
Obviously, Jaden Reed, we talked about him. He did not participate because he was recovering from surgeries, plural. He's going to IR. So, that's the injury report. So, if what Ren says is true, Zach Tom will be probably the only one on this list being out unless something new comes up. So that's pretty good.
Ren, other news and notes out in the ether. Obviously, some teams. The Bengals maybe came calling for your new number 2. Maybe looking, sniffing around, saying, "Hey, what would it take?" Obviously, Packers aren't going with their quarterback situation the way it is right now with what they've got on the practice squad and trading away a Malik Willis. They can't do it. It's not going to happen. No. But also, they're working on that. Like Goody talked about all offseason, wants to extend Quay Walker, and that's out there that's getting closer. And I would expect it may happen over the next few weeks that Quay's going to get the extension. So he's played good football over the last season and a half, and again, he's got the dot on his helmet. He's a captain out there. He's getting that stuff, sent into his helmet and getting those guys set up, and he's playing good football. So I don't have any problem with it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm still kind of waiting for that moment where I'm like, okay, Walker is that guy. I don't know what's taking me so long, but maybe just watching him for the first quarter of the season this year will turn me around. But I know he played better last year. I just wasn't convinced at the time. But I'm ready. I'm ready to be convinced. So I'm looking forward to that. And if they give him extension, it's like I trust in Goody. If they do it, I just thought maybe they, with drafting Cooper and Hopper, maybe those guys were gonna take over, but it doesn't look like that. At least on Hopper's end right now, with that. So it's like Cooper's there, McDuffie, Walker, that's your core for inside linebacker. And so if they want to extend Walker, that's fine with me. That's fine.
Yeah, and you remember all that massive praise last year in January. I think it was maybe at the Pro Bowl during media week. I mean, Xavier McKinney, said the next breakout star for the Packers is Coy Walker. You would have thought he would say Edgerrin Cooper, something like that. But he had massive high praise, and clearly the Packers think enough of him to already want to do that. So, and I think his play has gotten better year to year. And by the time we get to the end of this year, I mean, you look at him as like other people have compared, that whole number 50 AJ Hawk thing. Like, he's the captain. He's the center of the defense. He's a good player, and he may even be a better player than AJ was. And AJ was a solid, kind of core middle linebacker for your team. And hey, if he's a little bit better than AJ Hawk, you don't feel too bad about giving a guy like that an extension.
I think I did see the Bengals sign Clifford today.
A couple days ago. Yeah, they put him in the practice squad.
Yeah.
And he, I think he went to Xavier, so that's a Cincinnati school. So that's kind of home for him. And you wish him the best, man. We all love some big red dog around here, right, Ted?
Yeah, that's right. Until Malik Willis came, and it's like, who was? Oh yeah, I forgot he was on the team during.
Well, remember
during
there
training
were
camp.
some crazies out there in training camp. His first rookie season, like maybe he should be the guy, not Jordan. I mean, There were those out there, man. Crazy town. But that was said. So,
man, I watched a bit of that Viking Bears game on Monday night.
That was great, man. I was so excited to watch that. Yeah. And it was just two ugly looking offenses through 3 quarters, and then I went to bed. I was like, I'm good. I've seen enough crappy football. Didn't watch the Bears leading quarter. Yeah, and then obviously somehow JJ has a miraculous fourth quarter, and the next thing you know, Skull Nation is saying this guy is the next coming of Dan Marino, and he gets NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and then we get to watch him this week on Monday, Sunday Night Football.
I loved it. Watch that too.
He number one, are you doing the Clay Matthews thing where you wet your hair down? Because it looks like he took a shower and then put his helmet on. But he does not look good today. He looks like the game of football is way too fast for him. Skull Nation's taking it hard, and I love it. How can you not watching? Because they spent a lot of money on defense today. I think they have the oldest defense in the NFL. They spent some serious free agent money there. They do have some injuries right now across that defense. Harrison Smith, Van Ginkel. Another one of their guys, I forget it, is out. So they're banged up, and so same with their offensive line. That School or whatever playing one of the tackle positions has been eaten alive in place of Christian Darrisaw. But watching the Vikings fans and team go through the throws is not knowing, hey, and now he's going to be out 2 to 4, and they got Carson Wentz. Yeah. The whole question is, what if Wentz is good for in the O'Connell offense? He's good for 4 weeks. And do you put JJ back in? And now you got this whole conundrum. Now, let's say Wentz played out the year. Now you're in year 3, and what do you know if you got? You don't. And they're all sorts of screwed up, and you just hope they are, because we love that purple.
Yeah, like the first week, JJ McCarthy was the Wonder Boy, and then the second week he was the I Wonder Boy, and then now he's like IR Boy, and I don't know, I love it. I love seeing that wave.
And how was he even the Wonder Boy week 1? That again, he had one because
he came back and beat the Bears.
Yeah, who just got boat raced. Speaking of the Bears, they still suck. They suck. Absolutely hammered by the Lions. Like I said, the Lions are just playing with their food. Basically, they were ready to be at home and get that Packer loss out of their mouth and just take it out on those lowly Bears, man. Ugh, jeez.
I love watching that game. I watched that one. The Bears had like 2 or 3 glimpses in the first half of, okay, maybe they got it here. They were going toe to toe for just a little bit. All of a sudden, the Lions were like, nah, the Bears suck, and we're gonna show you. They dropped a 50 burger on them. Love that.
Oof,
I love
brutal.
that.
I mean, Caleb throws some nice balls at times, but other times you're like, what was that decision? And it just, you don't know what's going on, man. The connection to Odunze looks like that's a real thing, but man, I mean, again, it could be a season that spirals pretty quick on the Chicago Bears, and I almost sent Joey a DM, and I was gonna say, hey, just doing a well check, man, making sure
welfare check on
you. Yeah, doing a welfare check, making sure you're all right, Christopoulos, because I don't know, man. They just lost their All-Pro, their best defender, Jalen Johnson, out for the season. That their cornerback, and that's when I was gonna, after the loss, and then I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, are you doing all right, Joey? If you're out there, you're watching, I hope you're doing all right, man, because it could get ugly real fast here, and we're only going into week 3.
Yeah, we love you, we hate your team. I think that's what you said to us on our YouTube channel, a comment last week or 2 weeks ago. That's what you said. So back at you, man. But I love to see the Bears just suck and be a losing team as they are. The Vikings, I think, that are the same way. Obviously, the Lions and the Packers are going to be on top. I think that's what's going to transcend through the whole season here. We're going to get those 2 bottom feeders and the top feeders being the Packers and the Lions.
And man, Thanksgiving holiday is going to be something else with Packers Lions early, man. It's yikes. So it's going to be a juggernaut of a game.
All right, Ron, let's get into some Browns. All right, we got at Cleveland this Sunday at noon. The Browns. They're 0-2, 0-2. They haven't won a game. And
shocker. The Browns?
This might
slow start.
Yeah, slow start. Flacco named a quarterback.
And there's a thing called gravity, and the sun rises and sets. It's just like clockwork.
Yeah,
the Browns are 0-2.
Right. So I don't know. What do you got on the Browns, Ren? I got a little bit to say, but we'll let you start out here.
You can pull up a quick graphic for me, Tay. But you're a uni guy. I would have thought you would have led with the Browns with they're wearing their Alpha Dog unis this weekend.
Are they?
Tay,
no, I missed that.
Which is an all brown helmet, all brown jersey, and all brown pants. Tay.
Okay.
They're going. Speaking of the Browns, they're going to be down in the brown.
Brown.
And
Brown town.
Yeah, we hope it's like flushing something brown too, come Sunday, Tay. But yeah, they obviously just lost to the Ravens 41-10, Tay. Speaking of getting taken outside back to the woodshed, I mean, that's what the Ravens did to them. Cameron Mitchell and Greg Newsome, their cornerbacks, Tay, they've been getting toasted. So one place you can look for is hopefully the Packers open up the passing game, a little of that play action stuff, because we know the Packer run game hasn't been great yet. And this is probably not the week the breakout's going to happen for our guy Josh Jacobs, because the Brown rush D, 2.1 yards a carry, Tay, for Derrick Henry against that Browns rush D, and only 13 yards rushing entirely for Lamar against the Browns. So obviously they're stout inside. We know that begins and ends with one Myles Garrett. He's off to a fantastic start for himself this year, not his football team. So you're going to have to account for him on every play, a la Micah Parsons. So, I mean, I would have, obviously double teaming him with your O-line, or getting linebacker chip, not linebacker, but tight end chip help all the time with this guy, just to slow him down, get the ball out quicker, because he's a force, man. It's just, you got to account for him every play, because if he wrecks the game, that's basically what has to happen for them to win. Flacco will start, Tay. Obviously, how is Flacco 40 now, or is he like 38? He's pretty old, man.
He's 40. Yep.
He's 40. Okay. He had a 65 QBR last week, Tay. He's pressured on 40% of the snaps. He gave out 2 picks, 3 sacks, 1 fumble. Not good, but they decided after they were getting the crap kicked out of them that they were going to put in rookie Dillon Gabriel. We all know that Shedeur Sanders is there as a rookie quarterback, but before they drafted him, they drafted Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon. So they have 2, rookie quarterbacks that were considered 2 of the better quarterbacks in this draft. Not that it was a super great quarterback draft, but he came in and went 3 for 3, 19 yards and a touchdown and some garbage time, the Cleveland media believes, hey, if this is not going well by half, second half you're going to see Gabriel in there. That's how quick the leash will be likely come Sunday afternoon with Flacco if he's not keeping him in there. In addition to 2 quarterbacks today, they drafted a running back in the 2nd round and another running back in the 4th round. So they've got Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins, I should say.
Judkins.
It's a nice 2, obviously fresh legs, 2 rookie running backs that are off to a pretty solid start in Cleveland. So that's where obviously they're going to probably try to start with is just establish their ground game. You're not talking the who's who of wide receivers out in Cleveland. Their number 1 is Jerry Jeudy, former Bronco. So nothing really scares the heck out of you when it comes to their offense. They added a new tight end this year, Harold Fannin, to go with David Njoku. So they have a pretty good 1-2 punch with 2 quality tight ends there. I think Fannin actually leads the 2 of them in reception so far throughout the year, but obviously 2 good options there. So kind of a, more of a power style offense with the tight ends and the running backs and, a little bit of wide receiver play there, but nothing that scares the crap out of you the way the Packer defense is playing today. If they continue to just keep pace with what they've been doing, flying to the football, the Browns going to have a very hard time moving the football against Green Bay Packers come Sunday afternoon. Again, not much to say about the Browns defense either. I mean, listen, you're allowing the Ravens to score 40 plus on you. You're not a very good defense. The D-line is. That's about it. And Myles Garrett. And that's all there really is to talk to. So it's just one of those games where, yeah, the Packers should win something like, finally break the 30 mark, maybe 31, 31-20, somewhere in that range, 31-13. But it just kind of, each week I'll be a little nervous until these kind of games don't bother me. I just will. It just seems like kind of like Xavier said, 2-0 ain't shit. It ain't any of that. You gotta go bring it back week to week. You have anything to say about the Browns today?
No, well said. I think, Flacco doesn't scare me. I think the only thing that does bother me a little bit is that run game. If you watch some film on Judkins, I mean, that dude's a mule. He's going to run over you. And if you don't tackle him properly, he's going to get away from you. That's what I worry about. I mean, we've been able to stop the run pretty well this season, which is a change of pace for us. But I think that's what I'm worried about. Maybe the tight end situation too, but nothing else scares me on their offense. And obviously, our offensive line, I think, can handle theirs. There were times when Love got pressure during the Commanders game, but that was mostly like coverage issues where there wasn't anywhere to go, and all of a sudden stuff broke down. But he was able to get away from the pressure and make some throws at least. I want to say he was sacked only twice. He was sacked twice.
One was like against Washington.
One was like late in the game, and it was just like he was like, okay, I'm just giving up. He went back too far, and he's just like that. Yeah. So I'm not too worried about that.
Honestly, Tay, with the mix of Kennard and Belton, spelling Zach Tom, I think both have played reasonably well. I don't believe Belton let a pass pressure happen when he was in there. So, and Kennard's played fairly solid as well. So I think you can get away with it for another week, and that's based on how Tom's feeling and how they've played. I don't think they're going to risk that.
Yeah, I think obviously I would attack the weakness on the Packers line if I were the Browns. So I would go after whoever's in Tom's place. But maybe you have some help from the running backs, and I failed to mention before. Brooks had a great game at running back, I thought, from watching him when he was in there on third downs and off downs when Jacobs wasn't in. He played great. So I love our second in the line running back right now. And so maybe you put him in on passing downs to help chip Garrett away or use the tight ends and that sort of thing. So there's a way around. There are ways around it, and I think the Packers can handle that. But kind of like you said, I'm not worried about the Browns in any way, shape, or form. I don't think this is a trap game. I don't think they're there yet. Late in the season, maybe you go into these games, you're way overconfident because you've won a bunch. But 2-0, yeah, they're looking good, but I don't think they're in their head yet. They can control it. they still have to take care of business. LaFleur's like, no, there's more on the offense we need to do yet. After scoring 27 points each game, there is more. You can see it, you can feel it, and this team, I think, can still go upwards, and they're not going to overlook the Browns. And it's an NFC game, but this is just a stepping stone, and I think they're going to just hop on by. I think.
You talk about it in the two juxtapositions where the Cleveland offense has not scored over 17 points, and the Packer defense against these first two opponents under 20. I mean, and two good opponents at that. So, it just wouldn't make sense if you don't see something like a 30, 31, 17 again, somewhere in that realm.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there. I'm gonna say they put up 34-15. I think that's gonna be the score. I think you said something similar. You think they're gonna win. I think most people think they're gonna win. It'll be an upset if they lose this game, and I guess if they lose it, it's how they lost it. If something happened with an injury or turnovers,
and that's the big one, Tay. I mean, a season is won and lost on and your relative health. I mean, you can handle an injury like a Jay Reed here and there, but you can't lose your superstars, especially at the quarterback position. Obviously, a rough one for the Bengals and Joe Burrow. That's awful. But his season's basically done, and obviously lingering things where Jaden Daniels now. And I even said late in that game, I'm like, why is he in there? And at one point he waves him off like, I'm staying in. Like, dude, he's just getting hammered around there. JJ McCarthy obviously can't play. So these are odd things, but you have any idea, Tay, what the line is for this game? Have you seen it? Did you peek?
No, I have not.
First time this year, you get the Vegas line test. Tay, what do you think it is?
I think it's like 6.5. I was gonna say like 8.5, but I'm gonna go a little lower, 6.5 Packers.
It started, I want to say, on Tuesday morning at 5.5. Tay, it's at 8 now.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Over a touchdown.
It's at 8 now. So if Vegas too, and they're usually not wrong. They don't see this one being close.
They know. One thing I wanted to kind of piggyback off really quickly, and then we'll get out of here. Jacobs was in on that Commanders game until halfway later into the fourth quarter, and I don't like that. It's unpopular opinion. I know last year we played him a ton when we didn't have to. I'm worried about him, running him to injury, I guess. I don't really care about the 60 yards per game as long as we're winning like this. He's going to be a formidable opponent to any defense that we go up against. I know what he can do. I think everyone knows what he can do. When Brooks is having a decent game, we've got the game under control. I know it was within a touchdown there for a little bit in the third quarter, and it was like, okay, Matt LaFleur, time to put the gas on. But later when it was like, okay, we're going to win this one, I say take Jacobs out. I just don't like that he's in there running the risk when you're late in the fourth quarter and he's in there running the ball. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I had thought the same thing late that you're talking about. I'm like, why am I not seeing some more Emmanuel Wilson?
Yeah.
Number 23, Emmanuel Wilson. I wish you wouldn't have changed his number today. I think 31 suited him just fine. But, yeah, I mean, I wonder why some of the other starters, in fact, were in late. But, it is what it is. And, hey, they're still kind of amping up. Remember, first September is your extended preseason, so guys are getting up to full football shape and speed that first 4 weeks of the season, and maybe that's where they feel like guys need reps. But yeah, I mean, Jacobs takes a bruising and likes to bruise his opponents, and yeah, you want to keep him healthy with a stretch run. But I'm just waiting for hopefully in a couple weeks Lloyd's ready to go and we finally get to see that Marshawn Lloyd that we all been hoping for.
I agree. I can't wait for a RB2 controversy in Green Bay.
That's because that means good things are happening today, and that's what I want to.
All right, let's get out of here, Ren. Thanks for joining me tonight. We will be back late Sunday with our first takeaway after the Browns game. So watch for that live stream. Go over to PackerUniverse.com to check out our website. Follow us on socials, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys joining and watching. So, Ren, thanks, Tay. And we'll talk soon.
Finally get to talk some pack with you again, Tay, until episode 327, Tay, on the pup list.